Well, hello again. Today I'm going to try and set my welder up to weld these spot welds and so forth. That interests you, stick around. I'm just going to sort of do it by trial and error, taking some cuts from some of the material that I have. So stick around. Yeah, right there's a pile of shit that I've cut out, and I'm going to use some of those pieces to practice on to make sure that I have the welder set to the right stuff prior to starting to weld in all the stuff. So stick around. All right, here's my handy dandy welder of all fun things. It's a 120 volt Pro MIG 135. I've had it for almost 15 years, I want to say. Bought it from the old Home Depot back in the day. I'm using 0.025 wire with 2575. What do they call that? C25. And so we'll go from there. But that's it. These are the little plug or pieces of metal I took and cleaned up that are straight off of the junk car there that I cut up. And I have some of these butt weld connectors. I'm going to try them, see how they work out. They may or may not work out very well, but we're going to find out. So I got my punch, the hole punch. I'm going to use that, and we'll try to do some lap welds first, and then we'll try to do some butt welds. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, one of the things I did was I cut that wedge in the back of this die so that I could fit the sheet metal farther back, so that when I do the holes, which I did on this, they're farther back from the edge. So I modified my cheap tool, which makes it a lot easier to do when it's a cheap tool. So there you go. All right, on the inside of the cover, where I have the wire feed, it shows basic settings for setting up the machine. So I bought a piece of metal over here, and I'm going to try and see what thickness it is. So it's thinner than 16 gauge. I'm going to go with 18 gauge. There we go. So I think it's 18 gauge, and I'm using the C25. So it says B 3.5, which is, I think, the level of juice in the wire speed. So let's look up at the front. B 3.5. So here's ABC. There we go. Got it on B 3.5. I'm going to do it in 3 because I find that this usually feeds the wire too fast, which then pedals up everything. So there, I got that set. All right. And I'm going to set up my camera, but basically, as you can see here, I just punched 2 holes in this outer piece, and then I clamped them together with my cheap small Harbor Freight vice grips. So I'm going to see if my settings that I have it set on right now are going to be good enough for this lap weld or spot weld through here. So here we go. All right, so here we go. I got it clamped down, I got it grounded. Hopefully it's got a good ground. There's my hole that I punched. Let's see what we can do with this. Looks like it was good. Let me rearrange some stuff, and we'll do the other hole, and then we'll check and see how strong it is. All right, so there you go. There's one. All right, I had to turn you off because of the damn air compressor, but it's off now. So, um, did those 2 spot welds, and you can see that it developed some heat pretty good right there. And look at the heat on the backside; looks pretty good, and it's strong. So, I think what it tells you to set it at does a pretty damn good job of going. So, as you can see, I mean, good old weld, 15-year-old welder. We're good to go. I'm going to set it up to do a butt weld with these butt weld clamps, and then we'll take a run at that. See if I can use the same setting for these plug welds as we can use for the butt welds. So let me get it set up. All right, so setting this up, I used some of my brand new Chicago Electric welding butt clamps, welding clamps. I used 2 of them here. I need to tighten that one up a little bit, but it sets the gap. I don't know what it's set at. It says maintains a 0.04 inch gap. So 4 100ths. It looks bigger than 4 100ths, but what do I know? As you can see, I got a gap there. Got my good ground. I'm gonna ground right to the piece. And let me get I'm using the argon. Got it set. Actually turned it down a little bit to number 2 on the wire feed, so I don't get a whole bunch in there, and then we'll go from there. So that ain't working. I think I just burned the hole right through that sumbitch. All right, try and turn it down a little and turn up the speed. Okay, I got it back to B3. Let's see what happens. There we go. That one went a lot nicer, and I didn't burn it. Okay, there we go. Again, like I said, it would be so much nicer if I could freaking see. As you can tell, it's putting some heat in it, and it is sharing it. So let me take the clips off. A couple more spots. Cut the little ball off the end of my dingleberry there. Dingleberry. There you go. I'm going to take this bottom one out, and then I'll finish welding this. So my $300 14-year-old welder is doing what it's supposed to do. And I got it set so that I can go burn some metal in and have a good time with all these pieces I got to weld in. But let me get this back lined up for my. And as you can see, when I had it turned up, I turned the wire speed up, and it's helped a lot. And I forgot to put the ground on. I'll leave that in because I'm a moron. So you know that you're dealing with a moron. Which again goes to, this is just for exhibition purposes. Do your own research, do all that good stuff, because I am definitely not a professional. Ooh, I blew it out again. I must have ground that too thin. Let's say that's what it is. But as you can tell, it's definitely getting the heat and it's definitely getting the penetration. So I'm going to turn this off, turn you off, and we'll move on to something else today. All right, so there I showed you. I don't know what happened there, but all the rest of them look good. You can see I got good penetration. I might have just hit that one too long, but or that again, this is old metal and I ground it, so maybe that was just thin from rust and me grinding on it. But anyways, all right, so there's the backside, and I got definite penetration, and I really got penetration right there. But like I was saying, this is the old stuff I cut out, rusty. I ground it down to get to with my cut off wheel to get to clean metal. So maybe I thinned that piece out a little bit, but there you have it. So I think I got it set good. I think I'll be good to go. Definitely getting penetration. So I got it set up to where it needs to be. All right, so there you go. I appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching. As always, please like, please share, please subscribe, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody's help and support. So hopefully you have a great day, great weekend, great month, great year, even though it's 2020. Have a good day. Bye.